episode of the High Level Release Radar, where we recap all of this week's latest releases. I'm already getting ahead of myself, Ryan. Here we are, Friday. It's because it's a heavy week. I feel like nervous or something. We have so many releases to get through.
There's a lot of energy on Slack right now. A lot of things happening. A lot of
things happening.
Around. Get ready.
Strap in. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me make sure that we're streaming in all of the places. Let me reload here. I don't know if we are streaming in all the places, but we'll make sure that we do. I think we just need to share it into the group at some point. Hopefully one of our team members can get there. But if you could see us and you could hear us, please say hello in the chat. I can see a hello from Dave. Thanks for checking in, Dave, down in Jacksonville. Go Buckeyes. It's football season, huh? Next week, Ryan.
He's a Buckeyes fan, and Jackson. I guess there's a lot of snowbirds that migrate from Ohio to Jacksonville. I'm a Buckeyes fan just because I have family there, but I don't really care that much.
Gotcha. I was never into college football that much, but the Eagles take flight again in a week, so repeat incoming. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say about that. All right, what do you say we hop into some releases, Ryan? The first release from this week, we now have analytics for blogs. This is actually really cool. I was having fun checking this out on our own blog.
Yes, I included 2 slides here because, of course, we're utilizing this for ourselves. So if you don't know, we've kind of got a new blog going with lots of great content up on gohighlevel.com/blog. And now you can, just like us, go into the analytics, and that way you can get a quick snapshot of what's going on, what your top posts are. They've done a really good job with, of course, more future enhancements on the way. But breaking down like what's performing and what's not, so that you can double down on that content.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't it funny, Ryan? If you check out, let me get the old laser going over here. There we go. We're like one of the few companies in the world that still gets more desktop traffic than mobile. It makes sense, right? Because
I was thinking about that too.
I always find that funny. We got some check-ins coming in. We have Palak. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Hi to you as well. And we've got Andrew checking in from Scotland. Nice to see you, Andrew. Dying to get back to Scotland.
Oh, it's a great place.
Great place. All right, our next release from the week, form surveys and quizzes. We have True Zero, something I have been waiting for, and now it's there.
This is the nerdiest design ask ever, and it took forever, but here we are. So if you're like a lot of people and you don't need the padding and you're going to control it some other way, that is now available for you. And I think we're also going to have an option to just zero everything out, so you don't have to do it one by one. But nice. More stuff coming there.
I was so pumped on that, and I was so pumped to see the reaction in Facebook was, it echoed my sentiments. So yes, we're thrilled. True Zero, there we go. Email Builder got an update. We now have UI enhancements for attachments and preview buttons.
Yes, so basically when you're attaching files now, you'll now see that little icon that tells you how many files you have attached. And then there's also an enhancement for the preview, which, to be honest, I'm forgetting right now. So go in there, click preview. There's a new experience. It's better. I promise.
Love it. That's a nice little touch there, that little number counter.
Yeah.
All right, we got a check-in coming from the Philippines. Arnel Tito, happy Friday. Happy Release Radar Day to you as well. Let's hop into our next release, which comes from WhatsApp land. We now have new interactive message types, which is cool. Now, this one was confusing to me because we could already do buttons, but now we have like buttons in a new type of scenario or something. I don't know if you know the nuance there, Ryan.
Yes. So there's a couple different types of interactive messages. We'll get to the next one in the next slide, but this is sort of like the umbrella release for different types of interactive messages, and that's going to include things like list messages, reply buttons, location sharing, contact sharing. And then with this, we also have branching support. So when you go into your workflow and you create the a workflow trigger or an action for it, it will automatically create the branches for the different buttons or whatever that type of interactive message is, so that you can then plan out what happens thereafter and you don't have to do all that stuff manually.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We also have list messages now in WhatsApp.
Yes. So that is a type of interactive message. So you would just hit the drop-down menu, select the type, and now list is a function that or a type of message that you can now include. And so this allows you to send like structured menu of options up to 10 items. You can include headers, body, text, and then they can simply, tap on what they want. So you can kind of see the left-hand side is the workflow action, and you're seeing what the live message would look like. And then when they tap on open menu, they get all of these things. So it's not just buttons. It's kind of like a nice modal that pops up and they can choose from things there.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm excited to see what people do with that. That seems like a really fancy message type there.
It's cool.
Next up was an update from calendars. We now have payment sections inside the appointments, which is pretty darn cool. You can see all that info right there.
Yeah, you can see the amount that they paid. You can see their attendance level. You can review past transactions, all kinds of stuff, coupon codes, collect payments. So this is all about when you're in the calendar and you can just take actions that ordinarily you would have had to go into a different module into payments and hunt it down. And it's all being presented to you right there.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is another update from calendars. We can now create and apply coupon codes in appointment bookings.
Yeah, so this was a missing piece where we had coupon codes, but when they were booking the appointment, there wasn't like a great way to do that. And so that is now available. You just go and enable it, and all the settings are right there in the forms and payment section of the calendar settings. And there's probably going to be some interesting future enhancements here too, where we might be able to do some bulk imports. So like maybe you sold a bunch of things on Groupon, and you might be able to import a bulk CSV of different coupon codes that you've sold elsewhere and have them redeem them in that manner.
Oh, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds exciting. I finally see us streaming in Facebook and was able to share us into the group. So hopefully we'll start seeing some more check-ins come in from Facebook land in the near future. But our next update is another calendar update. We have view appointments in your preferred time zone, which can be very handy.
Yes. So it's kind of the big problem that we've got where everybody's in different places and stuff. And so now you can select how you want those things to be displayed, whether it's in the time zone or not. So if you're dealing with people in different parts of the country or indeed the world, you now have that preference there.
Very sweet. That's super convenient. We got another update for calendars this week. This one was a big one. Our new services, the second version of these new service calendars, are now live for everybody, out of beta.
Out of beta. So some nuance here. It's not just enabling in labs. You've got to go into the sub-account settings for calendars and enable that. The big reason for that is that it's a big change. So we didn't want to just push it out to the sub-accounts and say, good luck. So you do have to enable that at the agency level for specific sub-accounts. You can also do it in bulk. So if you've got a bunch of them that you want to transfer over. But really, this lays a great foundation for the future of booking appointments with services, because there's a lot of nuance, like especially in the beauty industry, where maybe you're coloring somebody's hair, but you've got 2 appointments going on at the same time. So those types of nuances can be taken into account. And then, of course, they'll have a really nice looking UI for booking those appointments. It's not just going to be a calendar. They'll have there's rich images and rich text and stuff to describe the service. So it's just a better way to sell service-based type appointments.
Absolutely. I'm pretty pumped on this one. It's been in beta for a little bit now, which was awesome because we got tons of great feedback from the community that was iterated upon. And so what just rolled out looks freaking awesome. So if you've been waiting for service calendars in HighLevel, go activate it, check it out, and let us know what you think.
Mm-hmm.
We got a check-in coming from Kathy in YouTube land. Hi, everyone. Joining from Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Okay.
Okay, is Oklahoma. Yes, sir.
All right. Nice to see you, Kathy. Thanks for saying hi. Oh, and we got another one just came in from DataPad, Netherlands in the house. Cool icon. I like that. Thanks for checking in. All right, our next update comes from the social planner. You can now reschedule posts while approving them, which is some pretty fancy enhancement.
Yeah.
There.
So imagine you're the approver. You've got some content folks that are teeing things up for you, and you're like, we don't actually want this to go out on this day. We want it. The rest of the post is fine, but it needs to go out on a different date. Now you can do that right in that flow, so you don't have to go back and reject it and have them reapprove it or resubmit the post for approval. So
yeah,
cutting down on time there.
Makes a ton of sense. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Our next update comes from Communities and Collab. You can now view post modal in full screen on the web, which is interesting.
Yes. And so there is some confusion around this, like what's the point? Because ordinarily, like if you're just in the community, you click on it and it's just going to have a pop-up modal. But when we do it as full screen, we get better SEO because the entire post can be displayed and it can be linked to. So that's the idea here, is when you copy and paste that post, or you've got search engines crawling it, it'll look at the entirety of the post in a specific permalink.
Yes. Now I remember. So that's the point of this, right? The point is that it was a backend update where now every post has a URL, which makes it indexable. So yeah, you're probably not going to be popping these things open and viewing them full screen on the regular, unless you wanted to share it, go get the URL. But that's the point. They now have URLs, so they're going to start indexing, which is a quantum leap forward when it comes to SEO for your communities.
Absolutely.
We got Lord Devi checking in. Excited to watch from St. Augustine, Florida. Some of these updates look great. I love how we can sort by preferred time zone now. That's super handy. Agreed. Yeah. Thanks for checking in. Glad you're digging it. Our next update is to our API. We now have fully automated OAuth 2.0 with JavaScript SDK. You know how much I love that one, Ryan.
Jace has been asking for this JavaScript SDK for a long time, and now he's got it. If you know what this is, I'm sure you're excited. If you don't, it probably doesn't matter to you, but it's a bit of a back-end update.
I saw a lot of people excited, though, so it sounds like it was a good one. We have more for our integrator dev community. We have a new API documentation library.
Yeah, so this is again more of a back end to the back end update, but we're moving the engine that kind of runs all of our API documentation. We actually now have an API Center of Excellence team. So huge focus being put on the APIs themselves and indeed the documentation, because if you don't know what they do, it's kind of hard to program with them, right? And so anyway, there's a new URL for that. It's linked in the app marketplace when you log in as a developer, and you'll see that. But it's powered by a new engine. I believe it's one of Meta's open source projects called Dockerus. So very intimidating sounding, but it's awesome.
Sounds exciting. Check it out. If you're part of the dev community, let us know what you think. We've got a check-in coming from Tony out in East Texas. Excited for Dallas. So are we. I hope you mean the Level Up Summit and not the Cowboys. But yes, we will be there, and we can't wait to see it, Tony. Next update, test voice AI agents using a web call.
When we say web call, what we mean is not a phone call. So before, when you had to test this, it would like call you or you'd call it. I forget how it worked. But anyway, now it just can happen right in your browser, and you don't have to waste your precious phone minutes.
That's right. Because, Ryan, I still have to wait for nights and weekends. So it was really limiting my test windows. That's sweet. I love it. And I think this is going to roll out into the chat widget, obviously. Hopefully we get some like embeddable demo-ish style stuff that we can give you, which I think would be awesome. So sweet little update there. Next up comes from prospecting. We now have enhanced audit reports.
Yes. So a bunch of enhancements here. There's a website chat widget detection. There's a bunch of fixes that were kind of looming there that got resolved. Techno stack selection enhancements, improvement detection for Google Tag Manager, analytics pixels, stuff like that. And then the SEO audit, Google Business Profile category alignment, So this is just making sure that we have the right businesses associated with the right categories and so forth, and a bunch of other great enhancements that they've been doing that teams have been working very, very hard on the audit reports so that they're as accurate as possible and they're giving you really good information to go and sell your services with.
I wonder, I saw a really cool preview of something coming soon for the audit report. Did Ryan happen to maybe put that in for this week's coming soon section?
I did not. So sorry to
Okay, cool. Well,
disappoint.
I'll try to dig it up while we're here so we can
Okay.
tease that one as well. We got Dan checking in. Go Birds. That's right. Go Birds. Our next update comes from the branded app side of things. We can now add account specialists in the client portal builder.
Right. So the idea here is
Ryan?
that you're adding one of our account specialists that work on making sure your branded mobile app. If you didn't know, you can get a mobile app that is designed for you with your branding, colors, and the modules that you want in it. And that process involves submitting it to the various app stores and so forth, which is a bit arduous. So what this allows us to do is to get one of our account specialists to be an admin in these app stores for your account so that they can help assist you along the way. It gives them a lot more insight into what's happening so that we can resolve any issues that are getting brought up by the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.
Okay, that's helpful. Next up, we have an update to subscriptions. We now have more visibility on the transaction details.
Yes, so we've got payment method details. You can see the card that's being used. For non-card payments, you'll see relevant details displayed there. So really what this is bringing in a bunch more data that previously you'd have to go into Stripe or PayPal or what have you to see. So, we don't want you to have to log into multiple systems if they're connected, and it's bringing that data in for you to view it right within HighLevel.
Nice. That's handy.
Mm-hmm.
We got a question from Andrew that I really would love to dodge, Andrew, but I'm not going to do that to you. Will those of us unable to attend Level Up be able to watch the recordings? Unfortunately, no. It's part of the whole deal. You got to be there. And if you're there, you can buy the recordings, but we don't make them publicly accessible afterwards, as far as I know, unless something is changing this year. But historically, that's the way that it's been.
I tried, but the answer is no.
Ryan did try. On behalf of you all who can't make it, he made this request and he got just slammed. His head slammed across the desk. I saw it. It was brutal. But it's just part of the deal, That's why it's special. Got to be there. Next up, mobile app got an update. We now have refreshed opportunities view. This was a big one.
It was. And we're working on getting this. One of the asks was to have a quick shortcut to kind of get to opportunities. It's a little bit buried in the side menu, but rest assured there's a brand new version of the mobile app that you might see in the near future here. And that'll get incorporated. But the main thing is that you can see a lot more details. You can customize the view. So if you work a lot in opportunities and you're on the go using the mobile app, it's much more flexible, much more appealing to see what's happening there, and you can get much more information.
Totally. Yep. If you're using opportunities frequently, you should love this one because it got way more flexible in the mobile apps. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is an update to domains. I love this one because it's a consolidation of two left-hand menu items into one. Domains and redirects are now in the same tab. Who doesn't love a nice little consolidation?
Yes. And I also wanted to highlight in this animated GIF that if there's a lot more functionality, if you haven't looked at this, with domains itself. So you can see what funnels are attached to different domains and things. So it gives you a lot of visibility into how things are actually set up. Which in the past was more of a trial and error thing. And now it's all in there. So go check out the domains tab in settings if you haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, great point. It is, it's pretty nice these days. So go check it out. Next up, we have an update for documents and contracts. You can now send them via SMS, which is sweet.
Yes. Pretty straightforward there. You just select how you want to send it, email, SMS, or both. And you'll have templates that you can select from that as well. Which you can modify and manage yourself.
Yeah, love it. Documents and contracts got another update this week. You can now decline a document.
Yeah. So when you receive it, you can decline it. So maybe it's a proposal or what have you, and it'll ask you for the reason. And I haven't looked at the back end of that, but that information gets relayed to you somehow. So if they decline it, like, hey, this is the wrong price, or it's not what we talked about, there's now sort of a methodical way that you can deal with that.
I love it. It's kind of funny, right? No soup for you.
No, I do not.
Our next update comes from workflow land. AI credit limitations have been removed. This feels like a big one, Ryan.
It is big, and we were talking about this internally, and like, what's the huge benefit? And right, it's kind of like, I use the example of going from like minutes that you'd have to use, nights and weekends and stuff like that. And you're always worried about like, how many minutes am I using on my cell phone? Because my parents are going to get some massive bill. The same idea is applied here to AI usage, especially in workflows, right? So whether you're using the workflow AI assistant, where you're trying to like understand a workflow, or you're getting, you want to learn more about a specific action, what it's doing, and then ask the workflow AI assistant more about it, what you can do. Those types of things, also including like generating SMS text messages, from that action. It brings in the power of, ChatGPT and that into HighLevel, but now you don't have to pay for it every time you're using it. So you don't have to think about like, oh, how many credits do I have? And is this going to cost me a bunch of money? Maybe it outputs like a bad thing and you have to do it 6 or 7 times. That you're no longer going to have to worry about that. It's just going to be included.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still laughing about nights and weekends, Ryan. How funny of a thing was that? Like, I remember literally waiting for it to turn 8 o'clock so that I could start calling my friends.
That's what I did. I just get out on the mall there and light up anybody that would answer the phone. That's how we communicated back in the day.
Was that a US thing or was it global? If you're watching from outside the US, did you guys have nights and weekends back in the day as well on your phone plans? I'd love to learn more.
Yeah.
Our next update, speaking of internationalization, this one I love. There's a new icon in the header so that if you're viewing a page in a language other than English and something hasn't been translated naturally or whatever, you can hit that, report it, and then our team knows to go and fix that translation. So this is awesome. Help us clean up those translations. Love this update.
It's great. And just to highlight, like, internationalization was sort of like a broad thing that everybody was kind of working on. Now it's much more focused. We've got a team around it. We've got a product manager just for this stuff. So, I know German has been kind of one of the bigger ones, but there are definitely other languages too that we want to expand to, but we want to make sure it's awesome. So only agency admins are going to see this. So don't worry, your sub accounts are going to need to provide feedback or see a bunch of random stuff here. So at any rate, that's part of the big focus here. But first, we got to collect the information. So flood them with your requests, and they will take care of it.
That's right. Good point. All right. Tony is confirming in South Africa they also had nights and weekends. Cool. So yeah,
a global experience.
That's right. Patrick's checking. What's up, you beautiful badasses?
That's the first time I've been described as a beautiful badass.
I love it. Thanks, Patrick.
Won't be the last, I guess.
Our next update comes from phone system. We now have guidance for incoming call timeout. Oh, I didn't see this one. What do we got here?
Yeah. The idea here is that we're just trying to nudge you in a certain way. So if you enter a value that might be a little bit unusual based on what we're seeing, we're going to just flag it for you. Like, this seems a little bit long. We might tighten up this copy a little bit just to be more suggestive. But at any rate, it kind of makes sure that you don't put in something that's going to break a process, right? So if you have a really long timeout, then there's going to be a big delay and the customer will get confused and stuff. So that's the purpose of that. Nice
little guardrail there.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew's also confirming they had nights and weekends in the UK. Did we have friends and family too? We did, and that was
awesome. But that was AT&T and Singular. Verizon didn't do that. So
interesting.
It depended. I was a Verizon guy. So.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of phone systems, we had another update to the phone system. We now have automatic CNAM registration. Oh, who doesn't love a little automatic registration on my behalf?
Yes. So the idea behind all this is CNAM basically it provides the business name when they're receiving the call. I'm sure you've seen this from time to time. Like, I'll get stuff from like a doctor's office, it'll say healthcare or something like that. But at any rate, I believe in the next slide, yes, we also want to highlight that it's not like we can't enforce it. So it's kind of something where CNAM is taken into account by the carriers, but they're not like required to put it there. And we're just highlighting that fact. So if you don't see it, it's not because it's not working. It's just some carriers do or do not, and there's time delays. We're dealing with a very large, complex system here. So be aware of that.
Nice. But I love that it's automated now. So hopefully 9 times out of 10, you'll have automatic caller ID.
You can quote Chase out of 90%.
There you go. Take it to the bank.
Yeah.
Next up was an update from eCom. You can we have book a call button on stores.
Right. And this is, again, for the admins and that. So not everybody's going to see it. But if you're having trouble with the store, they want that team specifically wants to get on a call with you to figure out what's going on so that they can fix it. Or if it's something that needs to get integrated into the product that's really holding you back, this is a pathway to do that and get directly in contact with that team.
Oh, that's really cool. And again, this is only visible to agency admins. So don't freak out. Your clients will not be hopping on the phone with HighLevel. Another update from eCom land this week. We now have custom product detail pages, which is really cool, Ryan. I think this flexibility is awesome.
It is cool. So imagine that you want to highlight either one product or maybe a couple of different products, and you can run ads to that page, and you can customize that page too. So out of the box, you just kind of have like a default page that all products look like, but maybe you want to do like a special or like a bundle deal. You can now design a page with specific products and customize that to your heart's content, run ads to it, or link it on your website, and you can use it in a variety of different ways.
Yeah, that's really nice flexibility, because like I can see a common scenario where you got a really great video testimonial for one specific product, and it's like, I don't want to add video testimonials to every page, but I do want it on that one product page. Now you can customize that specific page, and it can be different than the rest. So really helpful update there. Conversation AI got an update this week. We now have guided tone enhancements for form-based bots.
Right. So if you're building with the form-based bot builder, you'll see that in the Conversation AI tab when you go to create a new one. They did a lot of tweaking behind the scenes to make it more natural. So there's dynamic question styling where it's going to kind of change up the way and the tone that it's asking the question. It'll handle distractions a lot better. So if the client's like kind of going in a different direction, it will gently sort of nudge them back instead of having an abrupt like, no, I asked you about what time you want to get here. So it'll kind of answer their question and then redirect them back. There's context-aware phrasing and things like that. But anyway, just a ton of little things to make everything seem a lot more natural to the user on the other end of it.
Nice. Love it. Damon Oates is checking in. We teach about 3,000 handmade business owners. Excited to get them started transitioning into the e-com store. Nice. Awesome.
Amazing.
Well, let us know how it goes. And if you need any help, there's a new button there. You can hop right on with the team.
Awesome.
And Dave's pointing out that MCI first started the Friends and Family program in March of 91.
I have not heard that. I have not heard MCI in a long time.
All right, David, I've got one for you. I used to work for VoiceStream, which, let's see if Ryan knows this one, became which cell phone company in the United States? 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
T-Mobile.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Was not aware.
Yep. Conversation AI got another update this week. We have smarter follow-ups with time zone awareness. Handy.
Yes. This idea is that, let's say you want the bot to respond in a certain time zone, but it needs to be relevant to the time zone that contact is in. So this is what gives you that ability, so that you're responding between their 9 to 5 and not yours.
Yes, which is obviously awesome, because if it went the other way, that's not going to be a great experience.
No, it's not.
Very, very handy update there. We have another update for Conversations AI. We have the new dashboard for all agents, which looks fantastic.
Right. So AI agents, you're basically seeing a lot of parity that's getting formed here between voice AI and conversation AI. So again, we're calling things agents because that's what they are between voice AI and conversation AI. And then we're also getting very similar dashboards. Of course, there's some nuance between the two, just because one's talking to people and one is chatting with them. But you will now see that dashboard there in the conversation AI section.
Nice. Speaking of some UI, our next update is another one, the agency view. We now have applied filters on the listings page. So we can see, should I hit it with the laser?
Oh, yeah.
We got our nice little active filters here to make it clear what's going on.
Yep. So basically just indicating what filters are being applied. You get one-click control, so you can easily remove or adjust the filters. And then you can get a filter preview too. So when you're going to apply it, it'll preview it before it actually applies that filter.
Ooh, handy.
Mm-hmm.
This next update was pretty cool. I haven't played with this one yet, but when we are creating sub accounts now, that process has been streamlined, and we've got this little new option down here where we can say, hey, this is actually really cool. So now we have the differentiation on the back end of sub accounts. Is this a client sub account, or is it a sub account of yours, the agency owner, which we're then going to start to do more and more stuff with in the future? I've been waiting for this moment, Ryan.
Yes. This is it seems kind of small, but this actually is a culmination of a lot of work to differentiate those two types of accounts. And it looks way better too, because before you had the map and you had to go to the manual thing, and there were a couple bugs within that whole process. So it looks way, way better now, and it's easier to use.
Yeah, and I think if you're wondering like why would we need to separate the types of accounts, you can see right there in the blue one on the right, agency sub accounts are the ones that are eligible for SaaS mode, right, and rebilling. And so in the past, it was kind of a mystery as to like, well, how does it know which sub account is my SaaS sub account? And we're just going to start surfacing that and make it all more clear.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also some other cool stuff that we'll be able to do now that we have this set up in the back end. So stay tuned on that. Speaking of SaaS, we got an update for SaaS. You can now bundle marketplace apps into SaaS plans, which I think is awesome, Ryan. This opens up some serious capability.
Yes. So if you've worked with certain app developers or apps that are on the app marketplace, and you're like, hey, this really works for my business and my clients and customers, then you can include it with the SaaS plan, so it would automatically get updated or installed, I should say, automatic updates, all those types of things, and it can handle all the costs as well within the SaaS plan. So a lot of really cool stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, that is amazing. So now that just drastically expanded what you can include in your SaaS plans. Maybe you love to send physical postcards and there's an integration that you're using that you love. We'll just bundle that right into your SaaS plan, and now it can be part of your offering right out of the gate. Very cool update. I love it. Next up, speaking of snapshots, we can now add brand boards to the snapshots, which is nice and handy. I think people were complaining that this stinks. I got to go into every sub account after I load the snapshot and reset up the brand board.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
And if you want to know what a brand board is, it's essentially just colors that are specific to that specific account, as well as logos, typography, that kind of a thing. And you'll see more and more of that stuff get implemented throughout the app as well. But that way, when you're going to select colors, you get the right one, and you don't have to guess on which color it is or copy and paste hex codes, which I've been doing for most of my life. So,
yes, it's very convenient, very handy. If you haven't set up your brand boards, what are you waiting for? Get in there. Our next update, color codes are fun quiz questions, Ryan.
They are.
What's the color code for white?
F. I'm always confused how many.
You may proceed. Well, it's also weird because you can do it with 3 or you can do it with 5 or 6. Right?
It's like there's no rules on the internet. It just get it close enough and it'll figure it out.
Wild, wild west out here. Our next update is a fun one because we rolled out a new badge in the Certified Admin program, new skills badge for funnel builders. So This is cool because it kind of coincides with some new content we got from Gooston, who, if you know him from the community, he is an insanely talented funnel website builder. He was gracious enough to donate us a full course of his. So if you're looking to learn how to be a better funnel builder, website builder, you can go check that course out. It's in our YouTube library. And if you are a certified admin and you want to get certified as a funnel builder, you can now go earn that skills badge. I would also like to point out, this is part of like a new program that we're sort of testing here, which is if you're an expert in something and you want to donate a course to us in which you can promote yourself as a certified admin, so like literally drive business to yourself, you can do that. Just hit me up, chase@gohighlevel.com. If you're an expert in something specific and you'd love to donate a course to the HighLevel community, hit me up. Let's chat. All right, let's check out our next update from the week. It comes for form surveys and quizzes. We now have some new label alignment action going on.
Who doesn't love good labels? So now you can align it to the top, to the side, to the right or left.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't see this, but this is the kind of flexibility I'm talking about here when it comes to forms and surveys and quizzes. Love it. Sweet. Our next update is from Voice AI. We now have public APIs for it, which seems like kind of a big deal.
It is. So this is kind of the first release of that. But you can see here in this documentation all about what you can do with the API if you are indeed a developer and know what an API is and how to configure one. The documentation, as we mentioned earlier, is going to be in the App Marketplace documentation library, but here it is for Voice AI.
Love it. This next one is another one that I'm sure a lot of folks are going to be happy about around the world. Our checkout payment elements are now multilingual. So if you've been waiting or not using those because they were only in English, hop in. This is your week.
Your day. And this was a late edition. This like came in 5 minutes before we went live. So you're lucky there's a slide here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had some other updates from the week. Phone system. Oh, this is super annoying. Ryan, you want to explain this one?
I don't really want to explain it, but I'm going to do my best. So if you're joining, take a look at the notes in this slide, the presentation notes. But effective September 1, Texas has updated its telemarketing law, and there's all kinds of details about that. And so basically what's changing is Texas is now considering marketing SMS and MMS under its telemarketing law. And so you may need to register with the Texas Secretary of State, post a $10,000 bond, pay a $200 annual filing fee, send messages only between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m., and then maintain documented opt-in consent. So this is not legal advice. We highly recommend that you get your own counsel. Betsy will appreciate me saying this, but that's happening pretty quick here. That's in 3 days. So if you're in Texas,
I think
take a look at that.
Sounds very scary. Again, I'm no lawyer. I would just say if you're in Texas, doing marketing in Texas, just make sure that you're gaining consent. You've got check boxes in your forms before you're sending people text messages, right?
Yeah.
Let's all be responsible out here as we, get our marketing done. Users had an update this week. We now receive real-time notifications via webhooks, which is nice. So that should be more snappy for you. Conversations had another update. We can send messages and add inbound messages. Send messages and add inbound messages API. What do we got going on here, Ryan?
It's an enhancement to the API, or technically these are separate APIs, but you can now use the API to send messages and add inbound messages as well. So.
Got it. The App Marketplace got an enhancement to the reviews and rating system, which is cool. And Bulk Actions got an update where contact notes are preserved during merge, when you're merging contacts, which is handy.
This is kind of a big one, actually.
Yeah, that is
I'm happy to see that.
Let's talk about labs. What do we have hit labs this week? The opportunities and pipelines got basically like the setup screen got a new UI this week. It's pretty sweet.
Yep, we're continuing to implement our design language called HighRise, and this is the latest iteration of that. So if you want to check this out, I mean, there's not a whole lot that changed really. It's mostly just visual stuff. You can of course rearrange things. It's a lot more intuitive, drag and drop type stuff. So go ahead and go into Labs. You can enable that for whatever sub accounts that you want, and then test it out. It'll be going live pretty soon. I mean, I don't think that there's anything huge that's going to hold this up. Looks pretty good on our end. So
nice. Also in Labs this week is a very nice update. If you are a website or funnel builder, we enhanced the drag and drop so you don't have to navigate your way to the little arrow icon thingy. You can just click, hold, and drag away.
Yeah, huge update from my point of view. This makes things a lot easier. I've tested it out a bunch and it works great. So if you're moving things around a lot, you got a bigger handle to hang on to.
Very handy. Love it. All right, let's talk about some fancy upcoming releases. That's funny. Who doesn't love Toy Story? What a great series, right?
Yeah.
Coming soon, we have the Canva integrated into media storage update. This is going to be fun.
It is. And we have teased this in the past, but I think it bears repeating. I think this is going to be really, really cool because so many people use Canva for basic image editing, or they have a whole library there. And so the link between those two is going to be really nice and solid. And at any rate, you won't have to be downloading things and re-uploading them and doing all this stuff in between. They'll just link together and transfer and talk to each other, the files that you're making edits to in Canva back here and so forth. So really excited to see this. Might be dropping in the next month or so. I'm not sure.
That's going to be a big one. Mm-hmm. Also coming soon, we have import custom objects using CSVs. This is going to be super handy for folks, let's say, migrating over something like HubSpot.
Yeah. So custom objects are something big when you get into, truly customizing the CRM. So if you're a car dealer, you're, a pet groomer or something, you don't just have contacts and opportunities. You want to keep track of the inventory of the cars that you have, who bought it, who sold it. If you're a real estate agent, a custom object would be a house. So you can keep track of all the houses that got sold and then the relationships of your contacts to those custom objects. So, hey, this was the seller, here was the buyer. And there's a lot of different things you can do with that, not just to be able to organize it, but then to be able to use it in emails and so forth. That will be coming very, very soon as well. And if you're coming from a big system, you'd want to just import the CSV. It's a pretty standard way of dealing with a lot of data.
Love it. That's some big boy CRM stuff right there, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
We got a random penguin GIF going on.
Yeah, don't forget. This is a pattern interrupter.
Ryan's telling you to waddle your way over to levelup.gohelp.com and pick up your ticket. There are a few left for this year's summit. It's going to be fantastic.
We are super excited. There's a lot of work that's going into this, and it's definitely a labor of love. And we're going to be a little tired for that week, but we're going to have a ton of fun and learn a lot of things as well. Got some amazing speakers, like top tier stuff. And what I always like to say is, like, the biggest thing about it is the community and the people that are there. You can't imagine the types of things you can learn from people that are implementing HighLevel at serious scale. So learn from them, get to know folks, share your knowledge, and come and hang out with us.
Absolutely. It's going to be a blast. And I do want to tease this one last thing, Ryan, because I said I was going to. Check this out. Let me get my screen right here. Okay. But boom.
Ooh,
social
I like this.
Media audits in the prospecting tool. So this is going to be fantastic for those of you who are selling social media services to businesses. The audit tool will now be able to scan their social profiles and create an audit around that as well.
That's amazing.
That's going to be sweet or what, Ryan?
Useful.
Very cool.
It's such like an easy way in the door because most people aren't doing social media very well, and this is a way you can highlight it.
I love it. prospecting tool just getting more and more robust.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. Like Ryan said, waddle your way over to levelup.gohighlevel.com and get your tickets before they're gone. And I love it, Dan. He's calling it. Philly 31, Dallas 16 next Thursday. Sounds about accurate to me.